In today's video, we're going over the confirmation of a huge demo in the Resident Evil 3 demo being confirmed for a PlayStation 4 release soon. Also, we've got a variety of different updates on Resident Evil 3, as well as we've got some gameplay insights coming from the PlayStation blog, so I want to go over that. On top of that, a Samurai Jack game has been announced. Battle Through Time has been announced for the PlayStation 4, and we'll take a look at that as that's to be released this summer. And as always, we've got a plethora of PlayStation 4 game deals coming from Amazon and GameStop, so I thought I would bring that to you guys as well. A couple of great deals on great physical titles, so we'll talk that at the end of this video. But first up, the Resident Evil Twitter account noted it was written in the stars. A Resident Evil 3 demo is on the way. We'll have more details in the near future. So obviously, this demo you would imagine would be coming out rather soon, since the game itself, I believe, is launching on April 3rd. And you would probably want to get the demo out at least a few weeks before that, so I imagine we'll hear an update on this very, very soon. They specifically note that we'll have more details in the near future. Given that Resident Evil 2 had a demo and that demo was really well received, I don't think this is all too much of a surprising factor. However, still very exciting that people are going to be able to play Resident Evil 3 in the form of a demo ahead of the game's official release. I'm sure that the game is going to be phenomenal based on what we saw with Resident Evil 2. That game was tremendous as a remake, and if it can implement the similar level of success with Resident Evil 3, then it is going to be a phenomenal release and continuing that wave of successful momentum that Capcom is riding right now. Speaking of Resident Evil 3, the PlayStation blog has an in-depth article on how Resident Evil 3's PlayStation 4 remake is enhancing the survival horror classic for the better. Gameplay insights from the first hands-on, including a retail Jill Valentine battling Nemesis, exploring a reinvented Raccoon City, and more. This is done by Tim Turry, social media senior specialist over at Sony Interactive Entertainment. I'll leave a link in the description box below, but I do want to read some of the excerpts that he noted in his coverage of Resident Evil 3. He notes, quote, "The more I try to escape Raccoon City, the more it pulls me back in." Capcom recently invited the PlayStation team to go hands-on with the hotly anticipated Resident Evil 3 remake. We spent several intense hours with former STARS Alpha team member Jill Valentine and the hulking Nemesis dodging her attempt to flee Raccoon City. The action-packed preview left us bloodied, singed, rattled, and ready for more. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis was originally released on PlayStation all the way back in 1999, just a year after RE2. Similar to the 1999 original, a year after the release of Resident Evil 2 Remake, we have Resident Evil 3. Kind of funny how things line up that way. But here are some of the key takeaways that Tim Turry did have in his article. Reinventing Raccoon City. Capcom's photorealistic visuals bring Raccoon City to life with stunning detail. Blazing infernos cast zombie shadows down long alleyways. Movie posters adorn corridors. Dirt and abrasion show on Jill as she struggles to survive. The cumulative effect is striking. The Resident Evil 3 remake dramatically reinvents the sprawling streets of Raccoon City. This is much grander than a one-to-one remaster. Expect larger areas and some reimagined sequences that dwarf those in the original game. If you remember how the Resident Evil 2 remake is done, it looks like from a scale standpoint it is being implemented very similarly with the Resident Evil 3 remake. New shops and locations flesh out the collapsing city, including an expanded subway station, new labyrinth sewer section, and a richly detailed donut shop. City streets are wider and more open, unlike the relatively narrow corridors of the 1999 original. More room to dodge enemies. Speaking of which, Jill has a new evade move, R1, and the left stick that lets you dodge lunging zombies and other foes. It works a bit like a parry and is much easier to execute than in the 1999 original. Careful you don't roll into the arms of a waiting enemy, though that wouldn't be all too great. The seasoned Super Cop can now perform a perfect dodge by precisely pressing X while in an enemy's clutches. Successes scores you a slow motion counter window to open fire. Jill's knife doesn't degrade like the blades of the RE2 remake, and it's no longer used as a self-defense item. Practice that perfect dodge. Similar to the RE2 remake and RE7, ammo crafting is key to survival in RE3. RE3 introduced ammo crafting to the series all the way back in 1999, so kind of interesting in that regard as well. Outwit your enemies with environmental traps, blast red barrels to topple groups of zombies, and shoot electrical boxes to stun nearby threats. Jill, who is a known master of unlocking, can eventually pick numerous yellow padlocks scattered around the environment. This gives you more reason to canvas areas you've already explored as you hunt for extra supplies. Nemesis is bigger, stronger, and more persistent than ever. The brutish bioweapon packs a heavy punch and snares Jill with a tentacle grab and can cut off her escape routes with a flying leap. Your experiences fleeing from RE2's Tyrant, aka Mr. X, isn't enough. When in doubt, run from Nemesis, especially when fighting in confined spaces or around other enemies. If you must fight, do it on your terms. Lure Nemesis near electrical boxes or explosive barrels to deal damage while saving ammo. Sometimes Nemesis drops valuable supply cases when you defeat him. Nab these for high-powered ammo and coveted weapon upgrades, and similar to the RE2 remake, there are numerous weapon mods to find. I souped up Jill's pistol with an extended magazine, laser dot sight, and silencer. There's a lot more information on the PlayStation blog, so I'll leave a link to that in the description box below. But as we're inching closer and closer to the release of RE3, I'm getting more and more excited for the game, especially now that we know that a demo for the game will be coming as well. Once we hear some official information on when exactly it's going to drop, I'll be sure to let you guys know, but this is going to be a major demo release, and of course the game itself is out April 3rd. Alright, moving on from that, how exciting is this? One of my personal favorite IPs and something that I'm very nostalgic with, and Samurai Jack is getting a video game with Samurai Jack Battle Through Time, and that's been announced for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Publisher Adult Swim Games and Japanese developer Soleil have announced Samurai Jack Battle Through Time for all major platforms, and it will launch this summer. Soleil is the studio that developed Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker. Its staff consists of a number of former Team Ninja employees who have worked on the Dead or Alive and Ninja Gaiden franchise, so hey, people that have worked on Ninja Gaiden working on a Samurai Jack game, I think that's a pretty good sign. Here's an overview of the game from Adult Swim Games. Become the samurai and defeat Aku forever. Become Samurai Jack, the greatest warrior of the past, present, and future. Journey through time to finally stop Aku's evil reign in this new adventure told by the creators of Samurai Jack. Encounter your favorite characters from the show, including the Scotsman, Saramushi, Sir Rothschild, and more. Create your own samurai adventure, an untold Samurai Jack adventure that ties into the epic series finale. Team up with trusted allies from the show to face off against familiar enemies, visit classic worlds and moments from your favorite episodes, travel to a dark future to free mankind, dive into the past to face off against terrifying monsters, seek your fate as you travel across space and time, equip and master over a dozen different weapons in combat, increase your power even more by training and unlocking new skills to support your playstyle. An IGN preview offers the first trailer and screenshots, as well as confirms the game is written by series head writer Derek Bachman. Adult Swim Games will host a panel at PAX East 2020 at the Boston Convention Center on February 28th, where Samurai Jack series creator Gennady Tarkovsky and head writer Derek Bachman will share more information about the game, and the game itself, again, coming to all major platforms this summer. And lastly, I do want to quickly take you guys through some great PS4 game deals available right now. Got a total of 4 game deals, 1 on Amazon, 3 on GameStop. First of all, Borderlands Game of the Year Edition is available for $14.73 over on Amazon. This is a pretty good buy. Of course, this is Borderlands 1 remastered for the PlayStation 4. Has some improvements mechanically as well, implements a lot of the key features from Borderlands 2 as well. You get all the DLC. I thought Borderlands 1 was a rather good game, even though the finale of it all wasn't that great in Borderlands 1. Nonetheless, the game definitely has a lot more good than bad, and for $14.73, I do think it's a great buy. Also, right now, Devil May Cry 5 is available at GameStop for $19.99, one of my favorite games of 2019, a fantastic action game, and even if you haven't played the prior Devil May Cry games, not really a big deal. They've got a lore guide, and yes, while the lore in Devil May Cry is relatively intricate for an action game, it's not like it's absolutely paramount to your enjoyment of the game. It's a stylish and sleek action game with great presentation, fantastic music, and all of that comes together for a high-quality game in DMC5, and for $19.99, it's a great buy. Another Capcom game coming off the talks of Resident Evil 3, well, Resident Evil 2 is down to $19.99 at GameStop as well. I thought Resident Evil 2 was phenomenal, and again, one of the best games of 2019. Capcom was really reining it in 2019 with RE2, DMC5, you can throw Iceborne in there as well, but Resident Evil 2 is fantastic. The only real issue with games like this in DMC5 that I could see people having is that they are experiences that are relatively quick. You're going to beat them in 10 to 15 hours, and then most people are just going to be done with them. Sure, some people will play them over and over again. Personally speaking, I like my experiences to be a little bit more quality over quantity at times. Not every game needs to be a 40-plus hour, 50-plus hour, 100-plus hour grandiose epic, and I feel like RE2 and DMC5 do it the right way. Especially because elongating those games would just hurt the integrity of those franchises. It's not like Resident Evil and DMC were ever known to be these long, arduous adventures or anything like that. Sometimes they are arduous, but you guys get the idea. At $19.99, Resident Evil 2 is a great buy, and that's available at GameStop right now. And lastly, the Sinking City Day 1 Edition is down to $9.99. This is a relatively recent release, all things considered. I believe it came out last year, and while I wouldn't say that the game is perfect, it was a very interesting title set in the 1920s on the the east coast of the United States in the half-submerged city of Oakmont, gripped by supernatural force. And the interesting thing about this game is, yes, it's a horror game, but it deals with a lot of the mental psychology of the main character, and I felt like that was a rather interesting element. That element was so unique that I feel like for that reason alone, Sinking City is worth playing, and at $9.99, it's a great buy. The fact of the matter is, at $59.99, I could see why you would have been hesitant. Maybe it even released at $50. Whatever the case may be, it's a much better price at $9.99 and definitely worth a buy. I'll leave a link to all of those in the description box below. That's gonna conclude this video. Again, Resident Evil 3 will be getting a demo, and a lot of information has come out about that. I'll leave a link to the PS blog in the description box below. Samurai Jack Battle Through Time has been announced for the PlayStation 4. Very much excited for that. And a lot of great deals with Borderlands Game of the Year Edition, DMC5, Resident Evil 2, and Sinking City Day 1 Edition. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.